So this is a supplementary video to provide further clarity on the assessment process that you're going to be journeying through this term in Indigenous Studies 100 with me, Wendy Lynn-Laurent, your teacher for this term. I'm going to be going over your syllabus with you. I have the one in front of you here that's on the screen. It is for my Indigenous Studies 100 SO1 section. I'm teaching 3 sections this semester, so you are either going to see a SO3 or an SO4 here if it's not the SO1. 2 of the courses are going to be what they're calling a blended. There's actually set times. My SO4 is an online course. I taught an online course this summer. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a bit of I guess we're going to be having some differences between the sections in terms of dates of the schedule of the lectures, but primarily you're going to be going through the same process as in terms of what material you're going to be covering and the chronological order of the modules as outlined in the course syllabus. I will have already gone through the course syllabus with you. This video here is specifically in regards to the assessment process of the course, all right? So here you have the course requirements for the term. Please, again, some of these dates are not going to be the same as yours. Refer to your course syllabus for your section, all right? And you're going to have to get some work in for me. So let's just go and start with the quizzes first. So I have here in front of us the home page for SO1, okay? Yours, if you're going to be SO3, SO4, you're going to see it. It's going to be similar, but some of the things might not be the same on the actual drop-down menu, as you're going to see here. Now, the quizzes, when it's your time to actually do a quiz, all right, you're going to come into this space here, and you're going to click on quizzes. And this will open up. It's really slow today. There's a lot of people online. And you'll be able to see they'll be accessible or they won't be accessible. These dates here are not correct. I have to change them. Some of these dates I still haven't gone in and updated for the fall here. So these dates, disregard them as I get into the next few days updating all my sections. It's a slow process. But you're going to see these will be, the dates here will reflect in your actual course syllabus schedule on page 2 of your syllabus, whatever your section is, okay? This one here for Indig 100 SO1. These are the dates that you're going to have your quizzes. So as you can see, the 18th, it's coming up rather quickly. We are already, it's a Friday, so 2 weeks Friday will be your first quiz, and it's going to be on the first section here, page 3 to 13 of this textbook here. Now this textbook is a real gem. It's an actual compilation, Treaty Elders of Saskatchewan. Our dream is that our peoples will one day be clearly recognized as nations, all right? And this is a compilation of the voices of treaty elders who actually had either oral history directly passed down for somebody who was at the actual treaty ceremonies that were taking place here in Saskatchewan. So it's a treasure, and it's not that long. The words are very powerful, so I use it in my course because a significant part of my teaching for Indigenous 100 is treaty education. So that's the book that you're going to be referencing, all right? And another thing, if you note that there is going to be a e-proctoring platform that's going to be used this term, and I do believe it's not available for the quizzes, but for your exams, your midterm and final, just be aware that you will, it's similar to allowing the camera. It'll monitor you as you're doing the quiz. Unfortunately, we have to move in that direction as we're going online because there's a lot of individuals that are being very creative in their exams, and that's not acceptable. So as well, please note the important university dates here, okay, and work around them. And I'll cover that more in the actual lecture that we go over the syllabus. So let's go a little further down. Now the term project, all right, there's two parts to it. New this term, I'm actually doing a very more specific focus on helping you to grapple as a new student or a student that perhaps is considering going into academia a little bit more seriously. So we're going to do a research project, and I've had that every term, but different this term, I've really bumped up the weight of the proposal, and I have very specific requirements now that you're going to have to meet in order to successfully complete the project. Going back again, just a reminder, the proposal was 15% of your final grade. Your video presentation of your research project is another 15% of your final grade. So what are the requirements? Okay, so the formatting here, I sent through a link as well that's going to be available to actually help you to understand how to do a research proposal. I went through this. It's fairly good. It's a lot more detailed than I expect you to have it. This is more of an introduction to it, but if you want some clarity of some of these components that I have identified in the rubric for the proposal assessment part, you can actually go through that video and it will kind of help you to kind of maybe get a little bit more clarity in terms of what my expectations are. Don't overthink it too much. Just be sure, though, that you are including your learning outcomes very clearly, all right? What you intend to teach your peers is clearly identified within 3 or 4 outcome bullets, all right? And your literature review is going to be what material you've already covered in your research up to the point when you're submitting your proposal. There, of course, going to be some significant further research, no doubt, for many of you. But when you have to submit your proposal, and I do believe that the date is the same for everybody. Yes, it is October the 26th. So you have a bit of time to start to work on it. But I would encourage you to get on it sooner than later because it'll start to pile up. And once you have your proposal in, then you have a deadline for the actual presentation. Now, October 26th, and your presentation is November 6th. That's due. The presentation that is going to be YouTube. I'll provide you with a actual sample from Tabitha in a previous semester of mine. She's given us permission to use it. It's a fairly good one. She did really well on it. I can't remember what I graded her at on it, but it's fairly well done. But every term, the students are getting more savvy than when I first started doing this. So there's a free recording program here, all right, that Amber from my previous course also shared with us, so I'm sharing it with you. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to get some stuff out of that on how to succeed and do very well on your term project this term. Okay, and the reflections. So that kind of puts us at the next piece here I want to quickly cover. Now, to do that, I am going to actually jump into a previous recording I did last summer because it's pretty good. And I don't think I need to read to say it. And I guess that's all I will include for today. I'll have a couple more minutes here. Just continue. I think what I want to do is I want to just put it on here for now. Oh, no, not there. Just a minute, Sorry, guys. This one? Or is it? Oh, I'm still learning this thing. I've been using it how long, and I'm still doing it. Oh well, whatever. We'll just keep it out here. So here we go. So take it away, Wendy.
For all these different areas, have covered it. 4 marks for your topic. Did you address the topic? The prompt. 4 marks out of 10. Writing quality. And that's basically just making sure if you're not strong in English, go to a writing clinic, get somebody else to sit with you before you submit things, because it's out of 3 out of the 10 marks you're going to impact your grade if you don't on the reflections. And then, of course, this is the new understandings I keep bringing me back to. Does the writer incorporate new knowledge into his or her broader knowledge base? So because knowledge and what we do with it is really important. It was considered very sacred. Not just anybody got specific knowledge. You had to actually earn the ability to be exposed to certain knowledge at one time here on the People's Island, this part of the world. So I encourage you to reflect on concepts, understandings outside the classroom, whatever you're learning in the classroom, other courses, your life experiences as they relate to the course material, and try to connect all these to a much more of a bigger, broader, global whole, trying to get you to vision, leadership. We're all leaders. We all should be leaders in the world around us, and knowledge is part of that. So once you have been gifted knowledge, you're grappling with the understanding of that knowledge, and then the process of reflecting, you should be able to engage in a meaningful visioning process about what you now see going on around you, what you see now in the future. Because if we don't know where we've come from, we don't know where we're going. If you don't have the full story of history, and that's why Indigenous studies is so powerful. It's like you're coming into an area, if you've never been exposed to some of this knowledge, you're going to see that you're probably going to be upset with your education up to this point, because it does really fail to give you the whole picture. And our elders are very adamant that if we don't know where we've come from, if we don't know who we are, where our history comes from, we don't know where we are right now. And we most certainly don't know where we're going. So the visioning process that I'm expecting to hear from you through this term is that understanding that you're grappling with that. You're grappling with the story, you're grappling with the knowledge, you're understanding base, how is it being impacted, and what do you now see? That's what I'm hoping for. And I went through a bit about this wow factor. Again, it's exceptional, demonstrating exceptional thinking. And I'm just going to quickly jump into the rubric here. This is as well as online. UR courses, it's available, this PowerPoint. Course marking rubric for reflections, all right? A teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. That's Khalil Gibran said that. Very powerful statement. That's what teaching really should be. And unfortunately, we are in the Western academic state of learning today is rather, we don't do a good job of teaching or showing our students how to think by themselves. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And you can lead a human being to knowledge, but you can't make him or her think. That's what this whole process for me is, grappling with a different way of interacting with knowledge and putting it to good use for the greater collective. So this again is the framework that I'm reviewing with you. It kind of goes through some of the stuff I've already talked about. These are kind of some of the things that I look at when I'm reviewing the topic for the topic marks for the assessment. New understandings and insight, and the wow factor. So if you want to go through this, it will probably give you some better understanding about what I'm actually looking for when I talk about the wow factor. And there will be some of you who will get that mark. That's every semester, there's always some. But most of you won't engage with the knowledge the way that you could. All right, so I hope.
Well, I hope you got something out of that. I didn't really need to say it all over again, so I just thought I would let you listen to what I've already recorded. And I think that's all I really want to cover, except, again, new in this term, is I have a bonus piece for the reflections, if you can get them in. you know, if you can get them in early. And the reason why I'm asking that is because I'm hoping that if I can get them in early, then that will help me to get a lot of the work done this term in a timely manner, because I've got 3 very large sections this term. So 1 bonus mark, 1% towards your final grade for each reflection 1, 2, and 3 that you're going to be responsible for reflecting up the prompts upon with the ones that we were given to do. One of them is from your syllabus here, all right? If you can submit them 1 week early, and it has to be early at least a week before you get the bonus mark, then that will go toward your final grade. So for a maximum of 3 additional marks this term, you can work on that, you know. So there's the reflections here. Reflection 1, reflection 2, it'll be on the term project, all right, and then reflection 3. And those are the dates. They're a little bit different for each of your sections. And this is the prompt here that you are going to need to review. This is the one. Indigenous Peoples Around the World Reflection Assignment, all right? So you're going to have to view 6 of your peer videos, and you're going to have to ensure that you're using APA formatting in all of your reflections. That's very, very important, all right? You are going to lose marks for your quality part of the reflection assessment if you do not submit it in APA formatting this term, anything you submit to me. So make sure you're mindful of that as well. And I think that's all I really wanted to cover with you on this one. I do believe that's it. Just some guidelines for how to submit here on this section here. And there's the prompt, all right, for your Indigenous Peoples of the World reflection. And for the midterm and the final exams, the final isn't cumulative. So I'm going to be providing you with a schedule of lectures. It's a little bit more clear than this. I'm working on that slowly but surely. And whatever we get up to from the date that I have scheduled your midterm, that will be the material. I'll give a deadline, probably 2 or 3 days ahead of the midterm date, right? And yeah, I think that's all I need to cover with you. So I hope this helped. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will clarify it. Your final, I don't have it posted here, but of course you know that that's U of R sets the date on that. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Hope this helps. You shall see me soon.